Oh my god, that guy is a joke. And like, I can't tell if he's a really good-looking 60-year-old or a really terrible-looking 40-year-old.
If he looks bad for his age.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Does he look
really good for his age or really bad for his age?
Yeah.
I can't figure this guy out.
Yeah, motherfucker. We're gonna take it up a few notches right now. See if y'all can keep up.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 7 of the ScruffCast. I'm Jon.
And I'm Dan.
Now, last week, we kicked the podcast off by talking about how Ticketmaster sucks.
Yes.
And some of your trials and tribulations, Dan. Now,
Yeah.
we have an update on the situation.
Yeah, so last week, I complained about how I couldn't get Justin Timberlake tickets, and I said a new batch of tickets was going on sale on Monday. So, here's the update. Monday, 10 o'clock, I go on there. I was on there at like 9:57. Refresh. So 10 o'clock hits. I see 10 o'clock hit on my phone. I refresh. I go to get the tickets, and guess what?
No bueno.
No bueno. Gone.
Instantly.
All the tickets. 20,000 tickets. Gone in a second?
Jeez.
It's these pre-sales, man. You know, I'm not even going to get back into it. Just that's the Ticketmaster update. I'm still angry about it.
But it turns out, Dan, we're not the only ones angry about this. The people out there are listening to the ScruffCast, and they've spoken.
That's
News
right.
broke this week, Dan.
Yeah. And the Ticketmaster is getting sued. Hold on, let me pull up the article here. Ticketmaster is getting sued by... Oh, I don't have the right article.
But they're getting sued by somebody who's
Here we go.
tired
Okay.
of their shit.
That was some Chinese article I was reading. That's not it. No, the article wasn't in Chinese. I can't read Chinese, but you get it. The Competition Bureau of Canada sues Ticketmaster and Live Nation over allegations of inflated ticket prices. I mean, it's not exactly what we were talking about because they're getting sued because of all the extra fees and whatnot.
We did mention the fees a little.
We did mention the fees a little. We did, actually.
But
Yeah, you know what? We should take more credit than I originally thought we should.
Last week we said the ScruffCast is about tackling big problems to bring them to the attention for people smarter than us to solve. Because we don't have the solution.
And it's happening.
And the people out there are listening.
The government.
They're starting to solve them.
The government is stepping in, probably because they're listening to us through these microphones.
Probably.
Or they're just listening to the podcast.
That's another tie.
Or we just got lucky.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll keep you guys updated on the situation. Now, more upcoming stuff. The NFL Superbowl is this upcoming weekend, Dan,
Yep.
between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New England Patriots.
So who do you got, John?
I think I would still have to go with the Patriots. Everybody
Yeah.
loves to hate on them, but
I am
How?
a Patriots fan. And obviously I'm happy to see them there again. I'm happy to see Tom Brady. They're going to go for their him and Belichick anyway, their 6th Super Bowl together.
after making the Super Bowl, I think, another 2 times where they didn't win.
This will be the 8th time they're there. Yeah, lost twice to the Giants.
Bizarre.
Old Eli Manning and the Giants. Unreal.
Maybe not for long. Maybe he'll be somewhere new in the
Guy's got
in the new year.
like Down syndrome and still manages to beat the Patriots twice. Unbelievable. Okay, so I think we're gonna do a little ScruffCast bet here. So the spread is 4.5 points. Patriots favorited. Do you think the Patriots will cover that 4.5 point spread? I know you think they're gonna win.
Yes.
But it's more about, do you think they'll cover that? Because you can take the Eagles, still think the Patriots are going to win. Take the Eagles to make it closer than 4.5 points. Patriots win by a field goal. Who knows, right?
I think they'll win by more than a field goal. I think they'll cover the spread.
You think they will?
I think so.
Okay, I'll take the other side then. I think the Patriots are going to win.
You think it'll be a close game?
I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a low score. Okay, you know what? We can make a few different bets here.
Okay.
First off, I think we should put some money on this. If you're interested.
Okay.
So we'll go $10. $10 bets here.
$10 bets. Okay.
So I'll take Philly in the on the spread, the 4.5 points. I don't think the Patriots will cover it. I do think the Patriots will win, but I don't think they're going to cover the spread. You think Patriots will cover the spread?
I think they'll cover the spread.
Okay, so we got a $10 bet there.
You heard it here first.
Second bet, and we're only going to $20 because we don't have a lot of money, so that's all we're going to.
We're advertisers. Where you at?
So second, Patriots clear 30 points. Okay, over under on 30 points. I won't even say Patriots. I'll just say winner. But obviously, we both think Patriots will win. Over or under on 30 points.
The winning team will have 30 or more. So
Yeah,
like
that's what you think?
29.5 points
Yeah.
or higher.
Yep.
Oh, that's a tough one. I think yes. Yes. I think they will.
Because I will take the under on that. I think it'll be less. I think it's going to be in the 20s. I can see like a 24-21 victory for the Patriots. Which will win me $20 at the end of the day.
I could see it being 20, but I don't see the Patriots not covering the spread. So I think in the end might be a wash.
Okay. Well,
However,
we'll see. We'll see what happens next week. So on the next podcast, you'll get your results.
it will be our first betting results show.
Yeah.
Maybe if we get some positive feedback from the listeners by emailing us at scruffcast@gmail.com or tweeting us at scruffcast, we'll have more betting segments.
Now, speaking of betting, you have some gambling stories, do you not?
Yes. So this past weekend, so last week was mine and my girlfriend's anniversary. So then this past weekend,
How long? How long has it been?
8 years.
8 years?
Yes.
Oh, Jesus.
As many Super Bowl appearances as
You
Tom
gonna put
Brady.
a ring on it?
Soon enough. Soon enough.
You know what Beyonce says. I feel like you should have
we
put a
got-
ring on it.
We got to see how many bets I win.
All right,
So-
okay, go ahead.
Our anniversary was last week, so this past weekend we took a trip over to Niagara Falls, hit up the casinos, and I've only been to the casino a few times, but I gotta tell you, these things are just money-making machines. I don't see how anyone could own a casino and not be turning out a profit, a substantial profit. They're not only are they money-making machines because obviously the house has the edge in all the games, but they're just the psychological tricks they pull on you.
Yeah.
It starts getting late. You start getting tired. They start bringing around carts with coffee. Oh, you want some coffee? You want some coffee? All in the house, of course, to keep you awake, keep you gambling.
And I don't know if they do this at like the casinos in Niagara Falls, but I know in Vegas they pump oxygen into the casinos.
I've heard that as well.
No windows. I know at the casinos in Niagara there's no windows. But there's no windows,
no clocks.
no clocks, and they pump oxygen in, so it keeps you awake.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if
Interesting.
they're doing that there as well.
I'm sure they do. Yeah, I don't see why they wouldn't.
Although I saw a couple of people fall asleep at slot machines. It's just kind of with their head down, just
Jesus.
falling over.
Do you think there's any funny business going on in casinos? Do you think these slots are rigged?
Well, I was actually reading a little bit about it, and they're all just computer programs, right, running on these machines.
Right.
And they're programmed to sort of pay out at a specific rate, right? Like maybe, I think the industry standard is like 85% or something like that. So that means that over time, the slot machines will spit back out 85% of the money that's come into them. So that doesn't mean if you put in $10, you'll get back $8.50. But that just means like over the long run,
Yeah.
they're designed to keep this 15% cut or whatever. But what I find most interesting is like, they're essentially all the same thing. You pull the lever if you want, or you press a button most of the time. And, you know, they spin, and if it comes up with a certain amount of symbols, you get a bunch of free games, and then it just does some auto spins on its own and then spits out some symbols. Oh, you won this, you won that.
Mm-hmm.
But they're essentially all the same program, but just with a different skin. This one's like a Cleopatra-themed one. This one's like some dragon-themed one,
Yeah,
right? I
yeah.
played one. It was like 4 Chinese beasts.
Right.
And I didn't even know what happened, but it's like, free games, choo-choo, choo-choo, choo-choo.
You know what? That's what
It
I
just
find
makes
like.
you feel good.
I find like that's the biggest problem. You go to casinos. I play slots. I got no idea what's going on.
Yeah,
I press
exactly.
the button and I see the little money thing, and it either goes up or down.
Yeah.
I got no idea what's
It gets-
happening. I don't even know what I'm doing. And there's like all the different bet lines on the thing. It's like 1
Yes.
bet, 2 bet, times 3, times 4. I got no idea.
Yeah, so it will be like 50 lines, and you're like, with 50 lines, how can not every pull be a winner? I'm seeing like
Yeah.
symbols all over the place, and
I
the
know.
lines are like zigzags, like a giant W type shape over the thing, and I'm like, what's going on here?
It's so confusing. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of casinos. I couldn't really care less about them. I think like the Vegas way is the way to do it, where they come around and as long as you're playing, you're getting free drinks.
Yeah, they do the same thing in Niagara as well, and they have an open bar. And
No.
Yeah. Yeah, they
No,
had
you don't
people
get
going around
free
with carts.
drinks.
Yeah.
Not for free though.
Well, I don't know. I didn't have any drinks. I was too busy gambling.
Yeah, you gotta pay. You gotta.
Really?
Yeah,
I
no.
guess I had just assumed the coffee was free.
Well, I sure hope it's not free. Because last time I was there, I was going up to the bar and paying for drinks.
Oh, maybe you're just giving a tip. I don't know.
No, it's. I think you got to pay here because the money's not as big here as it is in Vegas.
I don't know. The coffee was free at least.
Oh, well, there
But
you go. I don't think
that's to
the
keep you
alcohol
awake.
is free.
Probably not.
No.
But it's just these little psychological tricks they play. You go in there, there's lights flashing all over the place. You hear bells going off, ring, of people winning this, people winning that. You hear people screaming all over the place. And to go to the buffet in there, which is one of the mornings on the weekend, me and my girlfriend went to the buffet for breakfast. You have to walk through the casino, right? So then
Yeah.
you're tempted by all of the machines just alluring you in. Free spins, big wins, big jackpots.
Yeah.
It's insane. I can only imagine the amount of money these casinos make.
Yeah, they're raking it in. There's no doubt about it.
No doubt about it.
And like, I think, like, it's, I don't know, going into a casino is intimidating too. Like the table games.
Yeah.
Like oh my god, I don't want to step foot on a table game.
No.
Like I know how to play poker, like Texas Hold'em, whatever. I know how to play. I know all the rules. I know how to play. I would never step foot at a poker table. It's terrifying.
Oh,
You know what I
definitely.
mean? And first off, I wouldn't be willing to put down the money you'd have to put down. Like a lot of these ones, like I don't know what Vegas is like, but like here, like you go in the evening, you're talking like $25, $50 buy-ins to get onto these tables.
just to sit down.
Yeah, just to buy in. And like if you go like 3:00 in the morning, I mean it's probably like a $2 buy-in, but still, you know what I mean? I played blackjack once ever. I was up at Casino Rama, and I went. My sister's boyfriend wanted to go onto a blackjack table, so I went down, and this is the first time I've ever been on a table, so I didn't really know how it worked. And I think it was like a $5 table or whatever. I put $20 down, and I didn't know how to only put down $5. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So I just put the 20 down, and she took it, and then that was that. She lays the cards out. I say, hit me. Boom. Instantly bust. And I lost $20 in a matter of seconds. And that was it. I've never played on one since. I just,
Trial by fire here.
yeah. I just don't have a whole lot of interest in gambling. I like scratch tickets. That's what I like.
Scratch tickets are fun.
Big fan of scratch
I remember
tickets.
as
They're fun.
as a kid, I think it was around my mom's birthday. I went to a convenience store. I was buying something, I don't remember, and I thought like, oh, it's mom's birthday, I'll buy a scratch ticket for her. So I tried to get a scratch ticket. It wasn't even a scratch ticket actually. It was one of those ones I never see them anymore, where it has the little cardboard peel off.
Oh,
thing,
yeah. You peel those.
right,
I think
with
they
the three
still
symbols.
exist.
Do they? I
Yeah.
haven't seen them around.
I think
And
they
I
do.
tried to get one of those, and he's like, oh no, you can't. You're a kid. And I was like, oh.
Oh, I didn't know that's the way this
Yeah.
works. Sorry.
I have a couple actually sitting around I got for Christmas that I've yet to scratch.
It's been a while since I bought any, but they're kind of just fun. I remember like me and another friend, we'd go for coffee, and we'd just go to the gas station before and buy a couple, and then we'd sit there, have our coffee, talk, and scratch the cards. And if we won $5, we'd go back, get a couple more. Like it's more just fun for that, right? Like we're never gonna win big, but like, oh, I won $8. Let's just go and grab a couple more, and then you keep going, right?
Yeah, you're really just buying the entertainment, right?
That's it, yeah.
That's
how I feel about casinos too, right?
it sort
Like,
of stands for gambling as a whole, actually.
Yeah,
One area of gambling that I like is like sports betting.
pro line, all that stuff. Well, here
Yeah.
in Ontario, anyway, it's pro line.
Do you ever bet on sports here?
I've done it. I haven't done it in a while. I used to bet on football. Just like choosing winners of games, like for all 16 games or whatever. I did that, and me and another friend, we used to do hockey as well.
Yeah, so here in Ontario, the province actually runs its own sort of like gaming commissioned setup, which is like pro line, where you can bet on sports. So but you have to pick it's like a parlay, right? So you have to pick at least 3 games.
Yeah.
So I was doing some reading, and the government basically gives you poor odds, right, compared to places like Las Vegas and stuff. So a couple years back, I got into online sports betting, which I could see how it could be a slippery
Oh
slope.
yeah, I remember you. Yeah.
So I have a story to tell, actually. So a couple
Okay.
of years back, during the World Cup, I got heavily into online sports betting. We sound like a bunch of degenerates on this podcast. I got into online sports gambling, and I noticed you can do like live bets, which is basically you're betting on the sport as it's ongoing. And some things are so trivial, right? It's like a 50-50 chance. Maybe it's which team in a soccer match will have the next corner kick.
Right.
And you can plop down like huge money, right? And you just get lucky and win a ton, right? Or you lose it all just as quick. So I was tracking the live bets while one of the matches was playing. I think it was like Netherlands was playing against Chile in the World Cup 4 years ago or so. And the bet was score to finish 1-0. And Netherlands was winning 1-0. So I was like, oh wow, the odds seem pretty good. It was like 4-1, right? So I
Yeah.
think I put down $10 or something like that, right? Thinking, okay, if it finishes like this, I'm gonna win $40, right, on my $10 bet.
Yeah.
Then as time is getting lower and lower in the game left, the odds kept increasing, and eventually it was like 12-1. I was like, there's 5 minutes left in the game, and it's 12-1 or
Yeah.
12-1 odds, and they're winning 1-0. What are the odds of them losing?
Yeah.
No way. So I stake like $20 or something like that. And then soon it dawned on me, oh, score to finish means from this point on until the end of the game. What's the goal differential going to be?
Right.
So that would mean they need to score one
more goal.
So I was like, oh no, because I think I dropped like $40 or something. I can't remember the exact odds.
Wow.
But I was like, oh no. And then in injury time, right at the end of the game, Netherlands actually scored, made my bet come true, and I was like, whew,
Oh, wow.
saved my
Yeah.
money. And then
So how much did you win?
I ended up winning like $250, $260,
That's
something like that.
interesting, actually. I'd like to
Yeah.
check that out. I think that'd be kind of fun.
And then, so it was on like Bodog, I believe. So I was kind of worried, right? Because some of these online sites are a little sketchy. So I started, Googling around, doing some research, and I saw a lot of articles. It's like, Bodog scammed me, or this is a scam, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So I was like, oh, man. So the way the sites work, you have to fund your account on the site and then use that to pay for bets. And then you can cash out from the account like once a month or something like that, or they
Yeah.
charge you a certain fee or something. So like once a month is free. After that, they might charge you like a $10 fee or something. So, you're like,
Okay.
so it kind of sucks. So I hadn't cashed anything out because it was the first time I really won anything, at least anything substantial. So I cashed out on the site, and then I was kind of worried, like, oh man, am I going to get scammed? Like, what's going on here? And then within 2 days, I had like a FedExed package to me,
Like a check.
and I had a check in there,
Oh, wow.
right? And I had read stories of people said they took the check to the bank and it didn't go through and they got scammed. I took the check to the bank, deposited it, went in flawlessly. I was like, oh man.
That's pretty awesome.
Then I sort of kept up with the sports betting a little bit after the World Cup ended. I kind of went into baseball and didn't really last very long, kind of gave up. But
Yeah, I kind of did too, but I kind of want to get back into it because it is a bit of fun.
yeah,
And-
just talking about this kind of wants me.
Yeah, and
makes me
also
want to get back into it.
I got a wedding to pay for coming
Yeah.
up, and
you could win all your money.
my job ain't cutting it, so
Yeah.
I got to make a little side hustle, and I don't want to be one of those Uber drivers either.
Yeah, it's a rough life.
Not for me. Yeah, that's their new commercial now. It's like, get your side hustle on.
Yeah, want to make more money? Drive more.
Yeah,
It's never been easier to give yourself a raise by working more.
yeah, exactly. No, I don't want to be. I don't want to be that murdered Uber driver. That's not for me.
Maybe one day they'll advertise for us, or we'll have actual advertisers.
I know.
At the big time. We're already starting to solve real problems. This ticket crisis, can you solve by us?
Hopefully, we'll see.
Hopefully. All right, so, we were talking about casinos earlier.
Yeah.
Because I went away for the weekend with my girlfriend. So we had to book a hotel, and then it's sort of similar to your issues with Ticketmaster and buying tickets online, but booking hotels, or at least booking hotels online, is just similarly a scam. So you have your dates, right? You're looking for, you search for hotels in the area. You might have a price. Let's say it's like $90 a night or something. You click on the link, brings you to the other site, has the listing for the hotel, the info about the dates and everything. And it's like, ooh, you just missed out on $90 a night.
Yeah.
Book now for $95. And it's like, there was no $90 a night because I had the same site open. And I searched again later that day, and it was like, ooh, you just missed out on $90. I'm like, there's no $90
Can I pause you
listing.
here for a sec,
They're
John?
lying. Yeah.
I got a sneeze stuck in my face right now, and I got to go to the bathroom to blow my nose. So you're gonna
Oh,
have
no.
to hold down this podcast for the next 30 seconds or so. So go ahead, I'll be back.
All right, so if Dan ever goes on vacation, this is what it's going to be like, just me handling the podcast. I have no problem talking, so filling the dead air will be no issue. So I was talking about hotels. So they tell you, yeah, book now for $90. You click through, and it's like, $95. You just missed out on $90. So I know for a fact that $90, in air quotes here, listing never existed. So that's one issue. The other issue is that by the time it's all said and done, it adds on all these extra fees, right? Oh, hotel fee for this, hotel fee for that. And it's, before you know it, $90 plus tax and fees, you're looking like $120. So it's like a third of the price added on. An issue particular to Niagara Falls, or at least I don't know if they do this anywhere else, they have some sort of extra like tourism tax and fee that they just charge an absurd percentage on everything else. And then a lot of tourists have complained, actually, so there's ways that you can like get it refunded.
All right, I'm back.
Dan's back.
You know what? I was trying to be polite. I didn't want to sneeze on this podcast. Tried to hold it in. Just caused more problems for myself. So, little interruption.
Sacrificing our bodies for the podcast. That's the dedication we have.
Okay, so you're talking about... I missed everything. So
yeah,
just
I was talking about how...
Try not to repeat it all, but
how
give me
they
the gist.
advertise one price and then you click it and it's like, oh, you just missed out.
Oh,
and I was
yeah.
kind of talking about how it adds on all the extra fees and basically booking hotels sucks.
Have you used Trivago?
I
Trivago?
haven't.
Trivago.
I think I used it to search once and I was just like, this stinks.
Really? Because you know what? I think it's a really good website. I think their commercials are complete garbage.
Their commercials are terrible.
Okay, that guy... Like, it's frustrating because it's such a good website, but oh my god, that guy is a joke. And, like, I can't tell if he's a really good-looking 60-year-old or a really terrible-looking 40-year-old.
If he looks bad for his age.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Does
he look really good for his age or
He's
really
old.
bad for his age?
Yeah.
I can't figure this guy out. But I'm sick of his, like, a terrible dancing.
Yeah,
Like,
just
him hopping
click,
across the...
book,
Just...
and spin around and order. It's terrible.
It's just... they got a new one out now where he's, like, in, like, pool floaties and stuff like that. It's just
God.
trash.
I had
Great
first,
website, terrible
I
commercials.
first noticed it because the commercial would come on TV and my mom would complain. She's like, look at this guy. He's not wearing a belt. This is terrible. Like, he just looks like a bum. So I did some searching online, and there was actually, I found a YouTube channel. Some guy, Alpha M was the guy's name, and he just talked about style and all this crap. And he actually had a video breaking down how bad that guy's style is. It was so funny. He's like, problem number 1, look at this guy's hair. He doesn't know if he wants it to go gray or he wants to dye it. What's going on?
So he's got like this like pea yellow gray hair.
Oh, jeez.
And this, you know what? Reminds me of a time my uncle dyed his hair. This was I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years ago. So he's like pretty much all gray now, right? Like a little bit of black still in his hair. But his wife at the time convinced him to dye his hair.
Ooh.
And but instead of dyeing it like dark, he like dyed it like light, but it turned out to like this pea color.
Ugh.
Yeah, my dad was just giving it to him. Looks like someone pissed on your head. It looked really bad, but and that like it looks like that guy's hair. So he's doing something funky there.
Yeah.
No
Terrible.
good.
But he's been holding it down. I don't know how many commercials he's been doing, but he's been on there for quite a while.
It's time for a change. It's like look at the Old Spice.
Yeah.
Remember like the like I think the original guy was what's his name? He's an actor.
Terry Crews?
Terry Crews. I think he was the original guy, and then they went to that other black guy who was really good. But like even then, like, you know, they stopped it. There was time for a change, and they started doing other commercials.
Yeah,
right?
eventually
even though that
commercials-
guy was so good, and like
Eventually they run their course, right? Gets kind of tiring.
people are kind of like, all right, I'm sick.
Yeah.
It's the same kind of thing, just different situations over and over again. It's time for a change.
Yeah, this leads me to another question, which I don't know if I'm putting you on the spot here because we
Oh,
didn't talk
boy.
about this beforehand, but
Yeah.
I wonder if you can think of any of your favorite commercials that you've seen. And it kind of ties into the Super Bowl, which is coming up soon, because they always put a
you're
big emphasis on Super Bowl commercials.
Okay, I got two actually. So one of them is it's not maybe a couple years old, the commercial now, but it's a Nissan commercial, and they've done a couple since, right? But so the whole idea was like for the Nissan Rogue. I guess there's like a little biasy to this too because my dad's work made these commercials, but before I even knew that, I thought these commercials were good, and so it's for the Nissan Rogue and like how great it is in the snow. So the guy pulls up, it's like a city, and he pulls up to like pick up his family, and there's like these like evil snowmen, like trying to get the car or whatever.
yes,
It
I
sounds so
remember this
cheesy and
commercial.
stupid, but like the way the commercial's done is like so it's like an action movie. It's just really good. So there's that one, and there's a commercial that's kind of out now. I think it's for Tums, and so like.
Yes.
Have you seen this one? So
Yes.
yeah, the guy gets like the guy's driving with his friends. He gets into the back seat of the car, and like in the car with him is like this massive piece of bacon, and like the bacon starts slapping him in the face, and he's like wrestling the bacon and stuff. Oh, it's so funny. Like
It's a good one. It's like, don't fight heartburn.
yeah, that's what it's all about. Go check it out if you haven't seen it. It's hilarious. It's got to be on YouTube. I'm sure. Tums has a channel.
Probably everybody's
Everybody's
on
got a
social
channel.
media nowadays.
Yeah.
One commercial that stands out for me that I remember from a long time ago was for Kia. It was like a Kia Flashdance commercial. I don't remember.
Really?
I don't know if you remember this one, but it's from that scene in the movie Flashdance, which I've never actually seen.
Is
But,
it with the water?
yeah, so
Okay,
the
yeah.
guy's like dancing on his tiptoes, like he's a maniac, a maniac. All right, and the guy's like dancing, and he jumps over, and he totally clears a Kia SUV, and the water all pours on him.
I think I have seen that
I remember
one,
it being one of the funniest commercials I've seen. I just remember really
there are some really good commercials out there that like.
There's another one I liked. It was kind of reminding me of like something George Costanza would do. I think it was for Budweiser or Bud Light, actually.
Yeah.
And it was for like a fictional product where it was a coffee cup that was always steaming, and you'd put the cup on your desk. So it'd have steam coming out of it, so it looks like that you just got a fresh coffee, so it's hot.
Yeah.
And you could leave it there, and then you just leave your office, and the coffee still has heat coming off of it all day.
So it looks like you just left, kind of thing.
So
just
people
stepped
are
away
like,
for a second.
Oh, look at John, just got himself a fresh coffee. He's working hard today.
That's pretty funny.
There's a similar episode of Seinfeld where George leaves his car at work. So he thinks that the people leaving later, like, George is still here? Wow, he's a hard worker. And the people getting in earlier are like, George is here early? Wow, he's a hard worker. But really, he wasn't even at work at all.
That's funny.
He went away on vacation for the weekend and left his car.
That is funny.
And then he has a dilemma because he gets covered in bird shit. And he's like, Jerry, I need you to go and get my car a car wash. He's like away on vacation in the Hamptons for the weekend. It's a really good episode. It's a really great show.
Speaking of commercials, I saw a commercial. I've seen it a few times now. So it's for a movie. The movie's called, I think it's 1517 to Paris, or The 1517 to Paris.
I believe so.
So the movie's directed by Clint Eastwood. He made this movie. So the movie is based around the terrorist attacks that happened, I think it was 2015. Not the terrorist attack, it was the almost terrorist attack. Happened in 2015 on a train in Europe. I think it was going from Amsterdam to Brussels. This train was.
Wouldn't it have been going to Paris? Because of the title of the movie?
Yeah, you're right. But what's funny, because I Googled the...
Oh, maybe they changed it, like, for the movie's sake.
Yeah, maybe, because, yeah, you're right. That is... I didn't even catch that. I'm pretty sure I Googled it, and it said it was traveling from Amsterdam to Brussels.
Yeah,
maybe the final destination was Paris? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
We don't do fact-checking on this,
this
podcast.
Checking. So, anyway... Now you got me all thrown off. Okay.
Sorry, Dan.
So the movie's about... the actual real-life situation that happened. There was 3 American soldiers who were just on vacation, 3 friends, who were on this train traveling around Europe, and a guy came on, I think with a gun, and was going to shoot up the train, and they took him down. They stopped him, and they were like huge heroes, the whole bit. So they ended up like co-writing a book with like an author, I guess, I assume, and this and that, right? So now Clint Eastwood's making a movie about the whole situation that happened. So here's the kicker. The actors they chose to play these 3 guys in the movie, it's like this is a pretty big action movie. It looks like,
being directed by
Clint Eastwood's a good director.
Clint Eastwood.
Exactly. The 3 actors they chose to play these 3 guys are the 3 guys.
That's crazy.
So like the 3 guys that were on the train and took this guy down are playing themselves in this Clint Eastwood action movie. Like, how cool is that?
Like a major Hollywood production. It's cool enough to like thwart off a terrorist attack while you're on vacation, saving all these people. And then now you get to be in a Hollywood movie.
I know. Just
directed by Clint Eastwood.
Unreal. And like, I was thinking about it too. So what these guys did, it was a big deal. I'm not going to say it wasn't, because it was. They stopped a potential really bad terrorist attack because of their bravery. They did that, and that's great. What I love about it is now they are milking it. Milking every second of it. Like they wrote the book, because I think the movie is based off of the book.
Yes.
So they made this book. They co-wrote with another author, and now they're making this movie, and they're milking it for everything it's got. And I would do the exact same.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
I would be
These
right
guys
on
are
board.
turning from average Joes, or at the end of the day, they were already in the military, so you have to have like a large amount of respect for that. And then they were the heroes on the train, which is great. They got publicity for that. I remember seeing like interviews with them on TV at the time. Then they wrote the book. Now they're in a movie. I think it's great. I love it. Like,
if I had anything particularly noteworthy happen in my life, I would definitely be writing the book to cash in on it. For sure.
you better believe it.
You better believe it. And if I had the star power or the some sort of connections to turn it into a movie, or the story was that good, I would be all over that too. Showing up to the premieres, all about it.
Yeah. You know what's nuts too is like the one of the friends in it, one of the main guys. I've seen him like in the commercial. It seems like he's the guy who kind of like originally goes after the terrorists.
They'll sort of like
he like rushes down the aisle, all big and burly, and this guy looks like Mike Trout. The baseball player?
Really?
Yeah, look him up. This guy looks just like Mike Trout. It's crazy. But anyway, I want to go see this movie because I think it's fascinating. Now, the whole thing is the movie starts from when they're kids, and it's like their friendship.
Oh, really?
Growing up to when they become adults and join the army and stuff like that. So I wonder how long these guys are actually in it for. Like how long the adult years in a sense. How long how big of a part is that in the movie? Is it a half hour? Is it an hour? Is it most of the movie? Is it a little bit of the movie, right?
You would think it would probably be like the big, draw of the movie, but how long did this, stopping of this attack take in real life? Not very long, I can imagine.
Minutes, maybe not even.
You know what I mean? The guy, he's going after us, and you run down, and it's 3-on-1. They tackle the guy.
Yeah,
and then
it's crazy though, because
you got him.
If you think about that whole little terrorist attack in general, right? If it's 3 normal people on train, who knows what could have happened, right? But these guys, if they went over, they fought in Iraq or whatever, there's I don't know, there's a sense of non-fear, there's a little bit of numbness to them. It's a gun. They've shot guns. Yeah, they've had guns shot at them. Maybe I don't know. I've never been to war or done anything, but I'm sure there's a part of them that is kind of unfazed by it. You know what I mean? So for them to react like that, of course, yeah, they're heroes and stuff like that, but it's probably just almost a natural reaction for them.
Oh yeah,
especially if they've gone and fought in war, right? It's probably to them at the time it wasn't that big a deal. It's probably like, oh, let's get this guy. That's kind of it, right?
Yeah, if it was one of us on the train, we would have been like, oh, there's that, and then we would have had no chance. I would
like to think, I'd play the tough guy card.
We're like Mark Wahlberg talking about 9/11.
Oh.
Yeah, if I were there, it wouldn't have went down that way. I would have been on the PA saving those people.
We're landing this plane.
I cannot believe he had the gall to say that.
That's my favorite story ever.
This marks 2 episodes in a row where we talk about Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah. Well, I do like me some Mark Wahlberg, so.
I do as well.
I think I'll watch just about anything he's in. He was another person I'll watch anything he's in. And, I know people are probably going to think I'm crazy with this. Tom Cruise.
I actually, I kind of agree. I haven't seen a ton of his stuff, but I recently watched American Made.
Oh, so did I.
And it was really good.
It was really good.
American
Made that's a fantastic movie.
I love those stories about drug dealing and cartels and stuff like that. Yeah.
It was all about the Contras and all that back in the day.
Yeah.
Which, it's funny because I learned about the Contras from an episode of American Dad. Because apparently, Stan in the show lives in Oliver North's old home.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he thinks Oliver North has, buried a treasure underneath the house, so he tries to dig it up. That's essentially the episode. But so that's how I learned about the whole Contras and Oliver North and all that stuff. But yeah, Tom Cruise, he's a guy, I know he's, in real life, he's a little nuts, he's a little crazy. But he's a good action star, so I don't care. You know what? And he's a little guy too, and I can relate.
Yeah, you gotta represent the average sized guy.
You know what's funny is people who are listening to this probably maybe they're thinking oh, these guys could be 6'3" with how cool they talk, but no, we're not.
No, that's why there's no video of the podcast.
That's we have faces for radio or faces for podcasts.
So it's just all up to your imagination.
That's it.
Yeah, I feel like Tom Cruise gets a bit of a bad rap after he went a little nuts a couple years back, started jumping up and down on Oprah's couch. People are like, whoa, this guy is he's out there.
He was in love.
Well, yeah, I suppose so. The
whole Scientology thing, I think, too, throws people off a little bit.
Yeah, I've heard... This is a whole crazy topic, Scientology. There's so many shady things out there.
Yeah. I don't know a whole lot about it. The only thing I watched one episode of that. Who's that chick? Leah Remy or
Remini?
Whatever her name is.
I don't know.
She had a show against Scientology because she was a Scientologist and then she broke away from it, and so she had this show. I watched one episode, so I'm super uninformed. I'm uninformed about everything I speak about on here. It's the train from Amsterdam to Brussels, but maybe to Paris as well.
Yeah.
I'm super, super uninformed.
That's the way the podcast goes.
Scientology.
We're just bringing stuff up to other people. Do your own research. Learn about it yourself. Go solve these problems for yourself.
That's right.
We're just for entertainment. But apparently people are being entertained because we got another listener email, Dan.
Oh, nice.
Believe it or not.
All right.
That's 3 listener emails and only 7 episodes.
And I think all 3 have come in the past 3 weeks.
I think you're right, Dan.
We're
on fire. We're on a roll. Email streak. So
keep the emails coming in. We need more topics to talk about.
So if you want to email us for next week, You can email us. Where can they email us, Dan?
At scruffcast@gmail.com, or find us on Twitter. You can message us there too, at ScruffCast.
Yes, we've posted a couple pictures on Twitter related to some of the previous episodes. Posted my brother's report we talked about last week. You're missing out if you're not following us on Twitter.
There's a video on there of the Buffalo Bills.
Crazy tailgate going on.
Yeah, you post.
Yep.
Yeah, that one's posted. Yep,
These people are missing out.
it's good stuff.
All right, so let's get to our listener email. So we have an email titled All Stars. Hey guys, NHL All Stars Weekend coming up. It just recently passed.
Yep.
Do you care? What do you think it would take for people to care? Also, people only think you sound alike because you're both Brampton trash who grew up talking to each other all the time. That's how accents work. Your only fan in Chicago, who we will not name.
Okay.
Calls us trash. We're gonna just let it roll off
trash.
our shoulders.
Yeah.
Brampton trash.
Well,
that's
let's
where we grew up.
First off, let's get into Brampton trash for a second.
Yeah, we're jumping right to that.
You know what? I think he's right.
I don't know if you'd call our.
I wouldn't say we're Brampton
voices.
trash. I would say Brampton is trash. I think it's just the bees, Buffalo, Brampton.
Yeah, we've trashed Buffalo, we've trashed Brampton. I don't know if there's anybody out
Throw
there
one
from
more
the
dig
cities
at
who wants to
Buffalo.
listen.
Yeah. Burlington's pretty nice, though.
Burlington is nice.
Yeah, we grew up in Brampton. It's trashy. It is what it is. Okay, so what were his questions?
Yeah.
Read that again?
Well,
I
actually-
think he had like 10 questions in there.
Yeah, if people are out of
is
the
this
loop,
guy?
what are you guys talking about? On the previous episode last week, we answered another listener question where they thought maybe we were brothers because we sound alike when we talk, apparently. So this listener wrote in, try and take us down a peg, but we will not be taken down. So the question he asked was, NHL All Star Weekend coming up. Do you guys care? What do you think it would take for people to care? Now, it's actually an interesting question because we're both really big hockey fans, but
Yeah.
I'll go on the record and say I do not care at all.
Could not care less. You know what? I kind of enjoy the skills competition,
It's interesting.
and that's only because there's no other hockey on at the time. There's
Yeah.
nothing else on. It's Saturday night. I got to get my hockey fix on Saturday night. So, yeah, I'll watch the skills competition. This year I recorded it because I wasn't home on Saturday, and me and my dad watched it on Sunday. And, it was all right. It was okay. But the actual games, I could not care less about.
I didn't even bother watching the game. I couldn't even be interested.
I watched the first period of the first game and then fell asleep for the rest.
The first game,
yeah.
were there multiple games?
Yeah, because it's the 3-on-3 now. So, it's all divided up into divisions. There's 11 players from each division, and the divisions go up against each other. So, I think it was the Central played the Pacific, and the Metropolitan played the Atlantic.
Yeah.
Winners of those play the final game.
Oh, okay.
See, this is how much we don't care. You don't even know what it's about.
Yeah, and I'm a big hockey fan. Yeah, I find the problem with the All-Star games in most sports in general is these guys aren't going to play like they do in the regular games. Of course, they're not going to go body check each other in the boards, right? Or take it
Especially
very
the
serious.
physical sports.
Especially
Football,
in a sport
too.
like hockey.
Again, the
Pro Bowl.
Pro Bowl was yesterday, which, again, nobody cares about.
Yeah, it's and the games are meaningless. What they're like drawing the fans. Wow, look at the world's best players, but it's like, but they're not playing their best.
No, they're
Right?
not.
You see like the goalie breakaway competitions and stuff, and it's just like the goalie trying to save it backwards. They're trying to come up with crazy ways to do the shootout. I remember one year Corey Perry used like a little mini stick, and it's just like,
Yeah.
ugh. I have no interest at all.
I think a big problem too is the NHL players are like they're boring. They're boring people. You know what I mean? Basketball players, football players, more exciting. They're more, I don't know, not provocative, but
They show up. They show up to the games wearing like the funky clothes. They're a little more
Exactly.
outgoing personality.
you got guys like PK Subban in the NHL, who I think is doing a good job of kind of being that face, I guess, or
spicing it up a little. And then what
Exactly.
do? They complain and drive him out of town.
Exactly. Yeah, whatever. We're not
We're
going
not
to get
getting
into
into
that,
it,
but
but-
he's better off where he is now.
Yeah, almost won a cup his first year.
But they're all boring. Perfect examples. Connor McDavid. What a loser this kid is. I hate him. I hate McDavid. We're watching skills competition, and he won the fastest skater.
Second year in a row.
Yeah. And so at the end, you're the fastest skater. How's it feel winning 2 years in a row? And it's like this is all just fun. Nobody cares. It's all for fun, right? All the guys
Yeah.
are having fun. He's like, there's lots of good skaters out here. Just happy to be a part of it. with like a frown on his face. He's just such a shit. This kid, like, I don't
Great
like
hockey
it.
player.
Smug. He's just got that smug look to him. Like,
Yeah, great hockey player, but yeah,
everybody else is smiling, having a good time.
it's for the fans,
Yeah.
right? Like I saw Brad Marchand from the Boston Bruins was out there, and he was just getting booed on. Just relentlessly
Getting booed everywhere.
And then they asked him about it, and he said, "Oh, the fans in Tampa, they're cheering for me. Woo, 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 woo." Right? Like, you got to have fun with it. And he knows the fans don't like him.
Yeah, when they announced him into the game on like for the actual games, he was getting booed again, and he started blowing kisses to the fans. Like, stuff like that's funny. Like, you know what I mean?
You got to eat it up.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys out there that would like. Well, I shouldn't say a lot of guys. Some guys were doing fun stuff, right? But like I think it's just as hockey players, they're conditioned from a young age to be very professional. And
Yeah.
like these guys are showing up at the age of 10. They're showing up to suits. If you're playing like high level hockey in Canada anyway, you're showing up to the game in suits.
Yeah, what 10-year-old wants to wear a suit?
But like that's the way hockey is treated here, right? It's so professional. That's
The
why it's
fifth
done.
season, they call it.
Yeah, it's a little not stiff. I wouldn't say it's stiff, but whereas like you look at basketball, right? These guys can show great fashion sense. I mean, they can in hockey too, but
It'll be on the news. You'll be hearing about it.
But
Showing
none
up
of
with
these
a
guys
yellow
are,
and purple striped tie. What's he thinking?
yeah, none of these guys are out there speaking their minds. The hockey players aren't.
Definitely
like
not.
basketball players or football players would, right? But
One thing I think is like such a waste is when they interview players in all sports, like in between the quarters of the game or in between the periods, and they're like, "Oh, what do you think?"
we just got to get the pucks in deep, cycle it around, get more pucks to the net.
I hate it. Such a waste of time.
That's it.
The
Just
players
that same
never say
garbage
anything
over and over.
substantial.
No, nothing.
I think the problem with the All-Star Game is, when you watch regular sports, you're seeing the best players in the world, compete hard against other players. But the All-Star Game, they're just taking it easy, and there's no stakes to it. There's no real reason you want one team to win versus the other. Maybe you're like, oh, I like this team. But there's no real stakes involved.
That's the thing. And the NHL has added in like incentives, right? These guys win. I think it's $25,000 for winning the skills competitions, like each individual one, and then the team, if their team wins, they win $1 million. So divided by 11, and it's 91,000.
Not bad.
Which like that's good money. There's no doubt about it. But for some of these guys, most of these all stars, obviously they're the best players in the game. They're making big money. They're making $7-8 million. 91,000's it's not huge.
That's another thing too. It's not the All-Stars determined by skill. It's really just a fan vote.
Which is stupid too, yeah.
But I understand because, the NHL wants the most popular players there because it's just an event for the fans and they're making money, right?
Yeah.
It's all about the money, which is the same reason they're not going to the Olympics. But I think baseball's interesting because in baseball, the All-Star Game does have stakes.
Yeah, it does.
Because
It's
the winner
home field
of the All-Star
advantage.
Game determines who gets home field advantage in the World Series.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
It's a much bigger deal. Yeah.
So if you're out there and you're competing in the All-Star Game, you want your team to win because you want your team to have home field advantage if you guys are going to the World Series.
I just think it's a little too sketchy when you do it in a physical sport, though, right? Because imagine one of these guys goes down, breaks his leg or gets concussion. Now he's being taken away from his actual team, just in a stupid All-Star Game. I think they should just get rid of the All-Star Game in general.
I agree. I agree as well.
The
I
All-Star
guess
Game
why-
just go to the goddamn Olympics.
I guess that's why baseball can get away with it because it's not as physical of a sport, although
Yeah.
obviously players get injured all the time. But yeah, I could see it getting a little more chippy in hockey.
Yeah. And you know what? Hockey, too, with their skills competition, they have nothing that compares to the dunk contest or the home run derby. There's nothing that even comes close to any of those.
Yeah,
There's
who
just
can
nothing.
skate around the rink the fastest?
Who can stick handle the best? And these guys don't even care when they're doing it. The
No,
guys in the dunk
it's just a
contest,
joke.
they want to win. You know what I mean? The guys, they want to put on a show.
Yeah, then they take a photo of the guy doing the winning dunk, and then you play your cards right. Boom, that's like an ad in itself.
Yeah, look at Vince Carter.
Exactly, prolific just for his dunking.
Yeah, he'll be remembered just for that. Like what was that? The 2000 dunk contest.
Wow, 18 years ago already.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So as for the second part of the question, well, the first question was, do you care? No, neither of us care.
No, not at all.
What do you think it would take for people to care? That's a tough one. I honestly don't know. Without adding any sort of stakes to it, I don't like baseball has, and even baseball. I'm not a huge baseball fan, but it just isn't really really have the draw for me. I don't think there really is a way to make people care.
I don't think the All-Star Game is important in any sport. I think, like, would I rather sit here, let's say Raptors, okay, the Toronto Raptors here, the basketball team. Would I sit here and watch a Raptors game, or would I sit here and watch the All-Star Game? I mean, obviously they're not playing at the same time. Let's say if they were, I'd watch a Raptors game.
Of course, because
I don't care about the All-Star Game.
There's meaning behind it.
Same with baseball and same with hockey. I don't know if there's anything you can really do to gain more interest in the game. I think, like, for these guys, the one thing I will say for NHL players, a lot of these guys don't even want to go.
They'd rather take a break.
They'd rather take a break. And so the NHL has now resorted to suspending players. If they kind of bail out, I have a nagging injury, you get a game suspension.
Yeah.
That's it. Where, like, so these guys don't even care. But it's like in basketball, all these guys care a lot about becoming All-Stars. It's a huge honor for them, right? So I kind of wish that hockey players maybe took it a little more seriously like that. That could be part of the issue, too, where hockey's lacking, because these guys do not take it seriously at all. They don't care about being named All-Stars. They don't. Whereas basketball, they do. It's like a huge thing for them if they become All-Stars. Massive.
Yeah, there was a player, actually, who, when he was first getting drafted, before he even got drafted, he told some story, he tried to go on a date with some famous girl who later turned out to be Rihanna.
Oh,
and she turned him down. She said, call me back when you're an All-Star. Well, this year, he got voted into being All-Star, so it was like this big thing all over SportsCenter, and she was getting bombarded on her Instagram posts with like, yo, Riri, he's an All-Star now. He's an All-Star now. I don't know actually what the end result of the story was. He got his date.
No, he in the end they asked him about it. He's like, "No way, she rejected me once? I don't think so."
He's just like taking the high road.
He's just like,
for her now.
He's like, "Nah, I'm too good now." Yeah, exactly. It's pretty funny.
If you can't handle me at my best, you don't deserve me at my worst.
That's right.
Played one of those.
Long story short, though, I don't think there's anything that could fix the All-Star Game, and not just for hockey, but I think for any sport, right? Like, the only thing I can think in hockey is just player dedication, players actually caring about being there.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys would rather just take the vacation, 4 days or whatever it is, right?
I personally think it's the lack of any stakes, which is the same reason why preseason games they don't have that same sort of draw either, because you're like, they don't matter.
Yeah.
Just like the All-Star doesn't matter either.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's going to do it for this week, Dan, and listeners.
Yes.
One more time, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can hit us up at scruffcast@gmail.com, or you can hit us up on Twitter, just at ScruffCast. We're always looking for new topics, so you guys tell us what you want to hear.
And we will try and deliver.
We will.
All right, that's it. We're signing off. We'll catch you guys next week.
Later.